It's also hard to kill your first baby, right? Like your first product,
Yeah.
it's hard to say, okay, I'm done with that. I'm going to try to iterate something better, right? Just as a founder, you're wedded to what you created.
Yeah.
It's
And
hard to take the feedback that maybe it's not as good as you thought it was and move on to another version.
mhm.
Welcome to Married to the Startup. I'm Alicia McKenzie, a wellness entrepreneur and digital creator. Alongside me is my amazing husband, George, the CEO who's always ready for a new challenge. We've been navigating marriage and running startups for over a decade, and we're here to share the real, unfiltered journey with you. Join us for insights and candid conversations about integrating love, family, and entrepreneurship. This is Married to the Startup, where every day is a new adventure.
Welcome to episode 60 of Married to the Startup. I am your host, Alicia McKenzie, and he's the other guy,
That's me, George McKenzie.
the CEO,
No,
the people's
the
CEO,
people CEO. I
the
like
people's
that.
CEO.
Sure. Let's do it. Let's go with that.
Let's go with it. All right. Today we are talking about being first to market. And George and I have had this conversation a lot recently, just talking about other companies and projects that we're working on and projects that we've done in the past, and how being first to market is not necessarily a guarantee of success.
No, I think, yeah, being first to market can be advantageous,
Yes.
but it can also be a disadvantage because if you're first to market, a lot of times you're creating the market,
Yes.
right? The market doesn't exist. So it's much easier to come into a market that's already existing and you have a, you know, a pace horse out there
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of showing you the playbook. So you're like, okay, this is what they do. This is how they sell, and then I can mimic it and then one up it.
Yes.
So much easier to be second to market.
Founders are taught that they wanna win the race,
Right.
right? Even right now, you're hearing, we wanna beat AI," or we wanna be the first to do AI, we wanna win the AI race and da 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 da, right? You're always taught that being first is always the best. Media rewards being the pioneer, people reward innovation, investors wanna be original.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I think a lot of investors want to play in a market that exists
Mhm.
and they want to pick the winner. So oftentimes they'll invest in a handful in the same market to see in hopes that if I invest in five, one will win and that
Yeah.
one will have a 10x return, which will more than make up for my investment and then some.
Okay, so essentially, you're first to market, you're creating the path. You're showing them what to do, what not to do. And then second to market's gonna come in and they're gonna watch closely and then execute. And you and I had this conversation a couple nights ago in the shower
Okay.
where
This is going to get interesting.
there is a product that was developed. I would say it's probably been a couple years, right? It's been a couple years. It was a protein shot that both George and I use, and then it sold out. It kind of disappeared from the website for a little bit.
And by protein shot, it's like a drink,
It's
not
like
like a shot.
a
Shots, shot.
stop.
It's that size.
A protein shot, and it disappeared. And then it reappeared on the market in January of 2026 under new ownership, saying that they have pioneered this new product and she's been working on it for a really long time, and boom, here it is,
Mm.
right?
Did they say she's been working on it for a long time or the company's been working on it?
She,
Okay, so she used those words.
yes,
Okay,
in the social media post, I have been working on
okay,
this product for over a year.
okay. Maybe she has.
But really,
Huh?
but they're second to market, right? They're second to market. They took this product. I'm assuming that they bought majority interest. Nobody really knows what's going on inside the business.
All right.
Made it more Gen Pop friendly, right? A little less gritty.
Mm-hmm.
And then they launched it, right? So you took a company that was already functioning and you watched it, and then I don't know if you bought it or if you copied it or
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think this is a first mover, second mover conversation because obviously this company acquired the other company in some form or fashion because they used the exact same name, right? They're
No, they
using
changed the name.
Pure Genius. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure it was the
It
same
used to
name.
be Genius. I don't wanna dime the company
Okay.
out.
Anyway, it's very similar in name, and the other one disappeared. So
Yes.
either it was a patent lawsuit type thing or something. Like you don't know the inner working, so it could have been like, "Hey, we our formula is the same, and we patented it. You didn't. We have it."
Could be.
Right? You don't know, but I don't. I think it's a little different when one of the companies exists and you kind of cannibalize the market.
Mhm.
Because when I was searching for the shots that I was using, this is the one that came up now versus the other one. So
Oh,
my
really?
yeah, so my guess is they just cannibalized. They took that market. So either they bought it and reverted the domain, or they took like it seems like they took it.
Okay.
So my guess is that's just however they acquired it. Now they are that company. So that company's backstory is now their backstory.
So you don't think it's first mover, second mover?
No, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that one is you just consumed it,
Interesting.
right? That they consumed that other company and then became that.
Okay. But what really spawned this conversation for us was Amazon, right? You sent me an article about the Echo Show
Yeah, this was a long time ago,
and
but we're kind of
how
talking about it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, no, you sent me that article recently.
Yeah, but that article is from a long time ago.
Mhm.
It's just interesting how we were talking about business ethics,
Yes.
right? And then, you know, I can remember from college and, ethics is a part of it. But I think when you look at a lot of the giant corporations out there, ethics are questionable. Like
They skate
I
the
don't know if
line.
you can get to the size that they get to with being a good guy all the time. I think, you know, and that I'm sure that's where the it's just business terms come from. It's
Mhm.
never just business, it's always fucking personal. But at a certain point you're trying to win, right? So yeah, do you
But let's run it back. Let's run it back. So
skirt it?
there was a startup called Nucleus,
Yes.
right? They built a touchscreen video enabled home communication device.
Yes.
Essentially, it was Alexa
Well,
with a
essentially,
screen.
yeah. I think what they were trying to do, their unique strategy, and what they were trying to do is, hey, we want to replace the telecom like legacy. Remember when
Mhm.
we were buying older homes and you have these telecoms that used to be. You remember? Like when we looked at Summerwind, they had the telecom. So it's a button you can hit and it like broadcasts to speakers in other rooms, or you can talk to your kids upstairs.
Yeah.
It was like an in-home intercom.
Okay.
And their philosophy was, hey, we're going to take that legacy in-home intercom system and we're going to make it digital. We're going to make it with screens so you can like video chat and talk to your kids or talk to people in other rooms or broadcast
Mhm.
or play music and do all that in different rooms. And that was their like strategy. That's
Yeah.
what they wanted to build or
Mhm.
what they were building.
Yeah. So they raised significant funding, including Amazon's own Alexa fund. So it was a corporate VC arm designed to grow the Alexa ecosystem. They raised funding from that
Right. Because
corporation.
at that time, Alexa was like the dot. It
Yeah.
was the little
Mhm.
talk to
Yes.
thing.
So after working with Amazon on integrating Alexa and participating in the roadmaps, discussions, whatever, the founder publicly alleged that Amazon, their Echo Show product, was strikingly similar to what Nucleus was producing,
Correct.
right? So the features, the form factor, all eerily similar
Right.
to Nucleus's product. And then Amazon denied the claims, saying that they had been developing Echo Show independently while positioning the product as a part of the Amazon ecosystem
Hmm.
and the device lineup. So, which one is true?
Yeah. I don't know if you'll ever know which
And
one is
you'll
true.
never know, but this is where you're kind of skating the lines of what's ethical and what's not in business.
Yeah. I think you always run that risk when you partner with another company, especially with another company.
As large as
Well, it's
Amazon.
not as large as them, but one that has a product that you're trying to integrate into. So, like, even in like a software development world, say in cybersecurity, if you have a certain product and you're partnering with another software vendor that has not a competing product, but a complementary product that
Mhm.
yours ties into,
Yeah, and you wanna do, like, an add-on?
right? Eventually, they're going to want to vertically integrate. So either they're going to buy you, or they buy a competitor, or they build it.
Yes.
Like it just doesn't make sense for them to have Most times they don't have ecosystems of partners that have things that are integral to what they're building.
Yes.
They either want to build it in natively, acquire it, or what have you. So I think there should have been some caution when he joined that ecosystem. But when you take the investment, that was the problem. His claims, right, where he took the investment, they had NDAs, and from his perspective, this was a partner, a true partner. So when they did roadmap discussions and R&D discussions, they were honest and truthful, and they had technical discussions about what they were building and why they were building it and how they were building it. And then what he claims is then when he saw the Alexa show and the drop-in feature was basically his product.
Yes.
And he said, yeah. And then I get it. At that point, you're like, where's my spot in this partner ecosystem if what I do you just built natively in the tool? So
Mhm.
there is no spot for me. There is no integration.
Yes.
You've built it natively. And
Did Amazon eventually acquire
I don't
Nucleus?
think so.
No.
No.
Did they acquire the
Why
product?
would they? They already built it.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, I think maybe they settled the lawsuit, or maybe I don't even think there was a lawsuit. I don't
Yeah.
think Nucleus filed anything. And maybe it's just sour grapes on his part, but the story did get some run. I think it's very it'd be really hard as people to sit on a call as an engineer and listen to what Nucleus is building and not take some of that, you know, overtly or inadvertently and integrate it into your product line in the development cycle,
Mhm.
right? Because as you're sitting in and hearing about their intercom, telecom, video chat features of this device,
Yes.
and then you're looking at your device that you're building and you're like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if our device did drop in? Oh, yeah, it would be cool. Let's build that. And then you build it and you're like, oh shit, we've just consumed that other product.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which it makes sense. Like Alexa would be useless if I had to use another third party app to do drop ins and all that. Like, yeah, it'd have less utility.
Yeah. So Nucleus was first,
Nucleus supposedly was first with the idea.
but Amazon won.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times that's the case. The bigger company has deeper pockets and they win.
Absolutely, right?
And
Could you imagine Nucleus trying to file a lawsuit and then
even if they did, what do you win?
yeah, what do you win? But then just the cash outlay to fund a lawsuit. Lawsuits are expensive for both parties.
Yeah.
So Amazon had a longer runway.
Yeah.
So is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Do you
It's
chalk it up
hard.
to
Yeah.
bad business practices and expensive mistakes?
Yeah, but if you think about that one, right? So if I'm running Nucleus and yeah, my guess is they didn't have a ton of revenue. They took VC funding or they took private equity or they took funding from this uh Echo or
Alexa Venture Fund.
Alexa venture fund.
Hmm.
So they obviously needed outside capital. They were probably burning cash. And then, okay, if I had to do a lawsuit, how am I going to fund the lawsuit?
Yeah.
I can't raise another round of capital on a lawsuit, right? And
Nope.
so how do you fight it?
Yeah. So this was hardware, right? This was a hardware a,
And
har-
software, yeah.
a hardware example, but also you have software examples in DoorDash
That's a that's a different
and
that's not thievery.
Grubhub,
Yeah.
right? But
That's more of yeah, who's got a first mover advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Grubhub was first to market, and they hit the ground running right around the pandemic, right?
Yes.
2018, 19, 20 is when they really took off. They had a lion's share of the market. They really pioneered the thought behind food and you being able to order it from your phone from anywhere and get it to your house.
Right.
Which was it was novel back then, right? When the pandemic happened, food delivery was not what it is today.
Yeah, and I think when Grubhub launched, it's not what you think of today, what Grubhub does today. I
Mm,
think when they launched, what they were was basically a storefront to order from restaurants
yes.
that didn't normally do carry out type orders.
Mhm.
So they were basically front ending the ordering, processing it, and then allowing people to buy carry out,
Yes.
but do it remotely from your
Absolutely.
phone,
Yeah. So
which was unique.
they proved that people wanted to order their food online. And then they went around and built relationships with restaurants,
Yes.
which during that time there wasn't a ton of restaurants that wanted to get into the
All right. It was too
fast food
hard. Yeah.
delivery business, right? But they taught users the behavior that we're now used to today.
Yes. They
right?
taught us 50% of it.
You think?
No, I mean, their strategy was just what I said. So,
Mhm.
historically, let's say in the 90s or early 2000s, if you wanted to take out, you would call, you'd place your order, then you drive over there and pick it up, right? That's how it worked. And then Grubhub said, "Hey, let's take that whole call crap out and let's make it easy so you can go through the app, order your stuff, and then go pick it up."
Mhm.
And we'll sign up all kinds of new restaurants that didn't have that takeout feature because we'll do all the legwork. And for them, the chef will just the cooks, line cooks, the orders will just come in and they'll see the order, they'll make the dish, and then they just pack it and it goes. So from the restaurateur, it's not a major change to how they do business.
Yeah.
It's just now I got this takeout window that maybe I didn't have before, or I've increased the amount of takeout I can do because I'm not beholden on someone answering a call, writing it down, which is normally like the person that's running the registry. Remember those days?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I gotta take this call, and the phone's always ringing.
Well, it's
So
still like that in South Carolina.
yeah, well, I mean, just so they kind of saw that part of the market and saw the problems that hey, I'm going to solve this problem,
Mhm.
which was great. But I think of what we look at in today's world of how we order food,
Yeah,
that's like 50% of it.
yes, when you think of food delivery,
Yeah,
what is the first company that comes to mind?
yeah, DoorDash.
Right? DoorDash is a verb.
Yeah,
I'm gonna DoorDash something,
yeah, I DoorDashed it.
right?
Yeah,
Michaela's gonna, "Can you DoorDash me
yeah,
Starbucks?" Right? Like, there's DoorDash has completely eaten that market. Yeah, you hear about Uber Eats a little bit, but not really,
yeah,
right? Uber is still synonymous with vehicles, not really food. DoorDash has completely cannibalized that market.
yeah. And I think what DoorDash did is their strategy was just their strategy is what we think of today.
Yes.
That was their strategy out of the gate. It was I'm gonna enable you to order on your phone and then the food comes to you.
But you can order
Yeah,
anything.
and the food comes to you. Where Grubhub was like, "Hey, you're gonna order the food, then you have to go get it."
Mhm.
But I've created an online portal that makes it easier for you to order from any of the restaurants you want.
Yeah.
Where DoorDash said, "No, I'm take it all the way."
Yeah.
Right? Not just solve 50% of the problem. I'm solving 100% of the problem. Where
Mhm.
you can just order on your phone and it shows up. Because back in those days, it was like Chinese food or pizza. Those were the only two things you could do
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And those only worked because they had delivery in-house.
Yeah.
And then what, Grubhub DoorDash said is, "Hey, I wanna take that model and just apply it to everywhere."
Yes. So, DoorDash and Uber Eats, they built in the logistics.
Right, and I think Uber Eats was later, they're like, "Hey, we have all these
Car.
drivers already signed up, and we can deliver anything." And then I think they like, maybe Uber Eats still does that, where it used to be like, your Uber driver can pick up stuff from CVS for you or
Yeah.
pick up, like, so
And
they were kinda going that way.
but a perfect example, we had a girl, a daughter, in what state was she in? Was she in Boston? She was just outside of Boston for a volleyball
Okay,
tournament,
yeah.
and she's with my mom because I couldn't make the trip up, so I'm watching her compete, I'm watching her play volleyball, and all of a sudden, she goes down really hard on the court, sprains her ankle really badly, needs crutches. I was able to Uber Eats crutches to her hotel
Yeah,
room for her to pick up, right? It's the logistical part, but the addition of stores that allows you to order anything from anywhere,
yeah,
and Grubhub ain't doing that.
right. And I think that was and then so now everyone has pivoted to DoorDash's model.
Yeah.
And so, Grubhub had first mover advantage into this new online ordering delivery restaurant thing.
Does Grubhub deliver now though too?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
they all do now.
yeah.
Yeah, so they've all just pivoted to the full market, which
Mhm.
DoorDash has. So sometimes,
I mean, they evolved because they had to, or else there
yeah,
would
I
be
mean,
no
DoorDash
company.
just ate everything
Yeah.
because they realized the whole problem, right? Not solving 50% of the problem. They said, hey, the whole problem is I want to order and have it show up. And it used to be Friday night pizzas, and that's the only way you could do it as like a working family or whatever, and you wanted to have eat out, and
Mhm.
it's hard to, or you didn't want to cook. You had very limited options. Now, like, hey, now you have every option available to you,
Yeah.
and you order it, and it comes to your house,
Mhm.
which I think was just Grubhub maybe just didn't look big enough. They didn't see the problem big enough.
Would you consider those 3 companies to be a monopoly?
No, monopoly would be one.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, the diamond industry, there's like 3 main
Right,
companies.
so it's not a monopoly, right?
It's very
No,
monopolistic.
it's I just think there's a big barrier.
If somebody wanted to come in and create another
No,
company.
so what I'm saying is there's industries all over the world like that where there's market consolidation, right? Because the market can't support 1,000 of them.
No.
Like no one wants 50 apps on your phone and like, oh, this store only works with this one. This one only no. So the market won't support that. So
Yeah.
eventually there's a consolidation around any marketplace has that. Like
Mhm.
if you look at, who are the big computer manufacturers
Ah,
for personal usage? It's Dell, Apple,
Microsoft.
and those, yeah, I guess Microsoft still. But
Right?
yeah, but
Microsoft.
they still make products. But there's not many. And there used to
Yeah.
be hundreds. I think yeah, Micron. There's still like fringe ones. There used to be Gateway. There used
I
to
just
be.
don't think there's any chance for anybody to ever come into one of these 3 and disrupt.
It's really hard unless someone has something that's incredibly novel that that leapfrogs these guys, or they become cash cows and they stop innovating.
Maybe Waymo.
Yeah, maybe that becomes like where, hey, Waymo or these autonomous or Tesla becomes the robo taxis, and
Yeah.
they're like, we have a humanoid now that will go pick it up.
Yeah.
Or yeah, or like I think DoorDash or Grubhub, one of them has the little robots, right?
Yeah.
Where you just put it in and it takes off.
Mhm.
Like I could see that with like a Tesla. Like the Tesla just shows up to the pickup of the Starbucks and the guy just puts it in the back seat and Tesla drives off.
What airport lounge were we in where there was a robot going through just picking up plates?
I think it's San Francisco.
Was it?
I think
And
so.
that would make sense.
Yeah, I think it was in San
Yeah,
Francisco.
it's very on brand.
Right. But
But
yeah, you could see someone like that disrupting it
yeah,
because they're able to get in. But markets normally consolidate, and
yeah.
then you have the winners and
Mhm.
everyone else is losers. And those winners dominate the marketplace.
Yeah.
And then it becomes okay, of the market, who has the lion's share?
Mhm.
And right now, the lion's share is DoorDash, has the lion's share of that market, unless
Yep.
someone else comes in to disrupt. And that's kind of how the cycle works, right?
Yeah.
Like, so,
Okay, one other product I wanted to talk about, and only because we've had friends that use it, but I don't think they've really latched on, is the, virtual reality glasses,
oh, yeah.
right? Like the Meta had glasses, I think Ray-Bans tried it, they built the Oculus, they built the headsets, they created the metaverse, but I don't feel like this product is latching on. I don't know if the market is there.
I think there's a lot to unpack in that. There's two different um products and market spaces that we
Mhm.
so like there's VR,
Yeah.
which is virtual reality, which
Yeah.
is like the Meta Quest.
Mhm.
And in that environment, and then even I would say Apple's uh vision is a part of that one. Apple's vision straddles both, but not really.
Yeah.
So it does the AR, the VR side. And I think in the virtual reality side, it's caught on and people use it a lot. It's just, it's not as mainstream as everything else. And I don't know why.
I
Maybe it's just
mean
a bear. People don't like to use it. Your eyes do get a little desensitized to it over if you do it too long.
yeah.
But I've had friends that use the AR and they like they use the VR. So I'll go to VR in a second. But the AR, and you can do like, used to be able to do meetings and it integrates with Teams and you can kind of like have virtual meetings and
Mhm.
see everybody. And it's good for gaming. Like I think that part has taken off and like it's kind of cool. It's still, I don't think it solves a problem today.
Yeah.
The VR stuff. It'll probably get better and people will use it more and the price point's really low. Like a Vision Quest is not expensive. Or
No.
the Meta Quest is not expensive. So then there's the AR, which is more augmented reality. So that's more like your Ray-Ban glasses. Remember when Snapchat had their glasses?
Mhm.
And that's more of, hey, something wearable or something that is used to augment my reality. So
Yes.
the Ray-Bans with Meta, you can record, you can talk to the AI to get answers to things, you can listen to music. It's all through the AR glasses. And then Apple's is similar, where you can have the whole virtual experience where it kind of blacks out everything and you see, or you can have it augmented where you can see through and see reality and you just have stuff
Mhm.
pop up.
Okay, but these products, when they were first being developed, there was a lot of narrative that consumers wanted this, consumers would latch on. Um, Ready Player One was really big in the media then. There was a lot of people were very excited about this product, and yet I feel like I have not seen it matriculate into anything.
Um, one, let's say the Apple, the price point's too high. It
Wh-
still has a battery problem.
which Apple?
The Apple Vision,
Okay.
like that's the only thing they make in
What
the
is it? I
AR
think
VR.
that's like
Yeah,
$5,000
it,
for.
it does has limited apps. It's really expensive, and the battery is still a problem.
Mhm.
And the form factor on all these are a problem. Like so,
Yeah.
like the Meta Quest is super light, but it's still cumbersome. You got to put
It's
over
just
your head,
bulky.
right? Where the Ray Bans, which are just AR, like I think their form factor is perfect. So now
Mhm.
it's can we get to a point where the technology matches what we want, which is, hey, I think where it would cross that line in utility is if I had the Ray-Ban glasses and the lens was thin enough and the power was good, it could last a whole day like a smartphone. And I could do almost everything I can do on my smartphone through my glass and I just see it in front of me
Mhm.
versus holding up my phone.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's where everyone's trying to go. And we'll get there. And technology keeps,
I just don't think
improving.
consumers are ready.
I think they will be once it's there. Like if you could, you know, instead of having your phone, it pops up and I see you on this top corner. It says, "Oh, Alicia is calling," and you're like, "Oh, I'll answer it. Hey, babe." And then I'm FaceTiming you. You see me, I see you, and it's all in front of me, and I can still do whatever I'm doing, my daily tasks, or
How
like
far
drive.
away are we from that?
I don't know, probably 5 years.
Right?
But then if you think of like heads up displays driving, right?
Yeah.
It's much easier to do that when you're driving to see the speed limit and see which turns I'm going to than having to look down at the map.
Hmm.
Right. So I think that's where people will go. But to kind of the Ready Player One will become there's so much real estate on the screen. And then eventually we're going to start selling parts of that real estate to ads. Right. So now as you're walking down the street, you're going to have tons of ads from every store you walk by. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, shit. I'll pay $5 to not have ads.
Yeah, right? Or I'll just take the glasses off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Could be. But that's kind of a dystopian future. And I think that
So my
the VR
prediction
is
is
more
that
like escape.
consumers aren't ready, consumers don't want it, and as AI is becoming more and more of a topic, people are going to swing hard in the opposite direction.
I think there could be some nostalgia stuff, but if you
Right?
think
Like, you have to think of a landline. Our son has been asking for a landline for the last, like, 3 months
why,
because parents are not allowing cell phones at before 8th grade now,
right?
right?
So
In our friend group, there nobody has a cell phone.
right,
Nobody has Apple Watches, you can't communicate. They want landlines. I think those simple, dumber products are going to be more commonplace.
yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be a prediction for 26. I think that's it's true. Like there's nostalgia from hey, I want to keep my kids off of these social media stuff.
Mhm.
Like that's less nostalgia. It's more like
That's more
I want a
safety,
simple
mental health.
dumb phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's people our age, my age, your age, maybe that like the nostalgia of not being bombarded all the time,
Yeah.
not being. But you look at our kids' generation, let's say Maddox and Maverick and these younger, they're not going to care about that. AR, VR is just going to be what they know. It's like a smartphone is all you know. Like if you went back to a flip phone, you'd hate life, right?
Would
But
I?
there's people my age or older that use flip phones and they're fine
Yeah.
because that's what they're used to. And I think if, our kids will be used to augmented reality, virtual, they'll be used to AI, they're used to Alexa today. They have conversations with it. They are not intimidated or worried about it or worried about the privacy risk. Like all that'll go away
That
because
is terrifying
people
as a
just
parent.
won't care.
Yeah.
And I think that's more like it. But to your point about the why was there so much hype, and I think it's around any investment cycle.
Mhm.
You want to validate or justify your valuation, so you hype, and that's what we talked about before with like Elon Musk and the robotics, and then the same with AI. And it's you got to keep the hype train going, so you can keep the money coming in, so you can keep the valuation going, so you can keep building toward the destiny. It's like the self-driving. Elon talked about self-driving 10 years ago,
I do think
but now it's there.
Tesla was first to market
Yeah.
in the self-driving, and I do not think another company has surpassed them.
No, no, they're
Tesla's capabilities are far, far more advanced than any car we've driven
yeah, as a
as a self-driving
as a
vehicle.
car that you own and drive. Like Waymo is better, I think,
Mhm.
but it's obviously
But as
only
a
for
full-blown
yeah.
consumer product, like end to end,
Yeah. No, Tesla's they've got it. And the actual self-driving is finally, I think, where Elon said it was 10 years ago.
yeah,
And I think that's part of what we all have to realize that he's going to say sensational things, as does Sam Altman, everybody does, because they got to keep the investment money coming in. They got to justify their valuations. They got to keep that money pouring in so that they can build the product to where they want it to be. Like if Elon came out with the Tesla in 10 years ago in 2016 and said, "Hey, we're going to have full self-driving in 10 years, but buy it now."
yeah,
No one's going to buy it,
yes,
right? So, because if we bought the first S 10 years ago, or
yeah,
more than 10 years ago, and it had some self-driving capability. Was
but it
it
was
great? No,
terrible.
but it was way better than anything that existed at that time.
Absolutely, and we just bought a new electric car, I would say a lot last month,
Yeah.
and the technology within that car is nowhere near as advanced as Tesla's
Oh, it's
technology.
terrible.
Like, its ability to hook to your phone, the app that it
Everything's
provides,
slow.
it's just slow and just seems a little dumb.
Yeah, it's like Apple compared to using anything else for me.
But we've actually never used anything else, so we
Yeah,
can't
it's
make
true.
that fair
That's true. That's
comparison.
true. Not in a while. Not in a long time.
Yeah.
You did at one point. You grew a wild hair, and you're like, "Oh, Android."
I didn't buy an
You
Android.
did. This was years ago when we were in Lorton. You bought an Android. I think it lasted. It didn't
Did
last.
I?
Yeah, I don't think it
It
lasted
must not have
a
registered.
week or two, and then you're like, "Oh, screen is so slow."
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure it wasn't, like, my Kindle?
No, I think you bought an
I don't
Android.
I don't think that to be true ever.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. Okay, so then if you're a founder first to market,
Hmm.
how do you caution them?
Well,
Right? Let's say
it's
somebody comes to you, I'm first to market, I have this product, I think it's gonna be amazing,
right.
but I'm stuck. I
Yeah.
can't scale.
Well, everyone talks about I can't scale, and I think that's often a misused term. And people say I can't scale when what they mean is I can't sell, right? And scaling is more about delivery and
Mhm.
increasing gross margin and doing things bigger. But you got to at least you got to have that fire before you fan it.
Yeah.
So you have to, if you're first to market, the hard part is how do I do lead gen? How do I generate sales? How do I generate momentum of my product, because the market doesn't exist. There's not a market I'm jumping into. So you say, like the Grubhub, DoorDash, like the market's there. People want to buy food and have it delivered to their house.
Yes.
That market exists. So now, if you wanted to enter that market, it'd be like, okay, how do I get in front of those people? How
Yes.
do I get them to choose me over DoorDash? How do I
Mhm.
get them to choose me over Grubhub? Whereas I've got a new product. How do I get the consumer to know what my product is and want to use it to
Yes.
solve a need they didn't know they had? Right? So,
Do you think innovation is a problem? Right? You have this great idea, you're first to market, you know there's a problem, but you're so stuck on the original idea that you can't see the forest through the
yeah,
trees.
exactly. That becomes a problem
Right.
because if you're first to market, right? If you're that means you're creating a market. The market doesn't exist, so it's really hard. So you're not in a market, you're making one.
Yes.
It's hard, and you got to educate every sale is an education process. You're
Mhm.
educating the purchaser on why they need your product to
Yes.
begin with, and
You're
then
teaching them their buying
and
habits.
what they what their problem is and how you're solving that problem they didn't know they had.
Mhm.
So you have to educate them, and you become wedded to that because that's your sales cycle. And then as the market coalesces and becomes something, you sometimes you get stuck in that I'm still educating everybody and
Yeah.
I'm trying to solve the problem. And the guy coming behind you has a easier because he's not educating the market on the problem. You already did that for him. Thank you. And now I'm telling you how I can solve that problem better than him.
Yes.
And then here are the things that I've done to improve upon the way
So
he
he's
solves it.
iterating while
Right.
you're
And
still
you're innovating.
educating.
Yeah. And you're coming in saying you get to see all the problems with his
Yeah.
or her product, and then you can just leapfrog it.
So he's coming in with V2 and V3 and V4
Yeah.
while you're still stuck in V1
Yeah,
trying to
you're still
figure.
educated because you're spending most of your time, effort, and energy in educating the customer and
Mhm.
selling versus the other guys spending more time in R&D and innovation.
Yeah.
And it's because it's hard to do both at the same time.
But it's also hard to kill your first baby, right? Like your first product,
Yeah.
it's hard to say, okay, I'm done with that. I'm going to try to iterate something better. right? Just as a founder, you're wedded to what you created.
Yeah.
It's
And
hard to take the feedback that maybe it's not as good as you thought it was and move on to another version.
or you get stuck in the legacy, I'll use software, or you get stuck in the legacy, right?
Mhm.
Where I've got this code base and I can iterate on it, but it's got fundamental flaws. It's got problems.
Yes.
And the guy that came in behind me recognized those problems and he addressed them in his core operating system or the core code base.
Mhm.
So now I've got to redo my entire code base at some point to get to this newer model.
Ugh,
And then how do I make it backwards compatible so I don't screw up whatever the last thing was? So it's a harder row to hoe versus, and we did it like when I used to work at DHS. DHS had problems because we inherited a lot of legacy networks and computers and everything else. Where like TSA was a brand new agency
yeah,
and they were able to leapfrog everybody because everything was new.
yeah,
You could architect it the way you want it. You could build it using modern networking technologies. You didn't have token ring and this other bullshit laying around, right? Or all these mainframes sitting over here. You could come in and do, go to cloud faster than anybody else because you didn't have any of these legacy things you were holding on to that you
yeah.
had to migrate.
So as a founder, I think it's safe to say that as you're creating your product, be fully prepared for somebody to come in and disrupt it, right? Because I think you try to create and you assume that nobody else is behind you.
Right.
That's not the case ever.
So I think if you're first to market, it's hard, but you need to figure out, okay, how do I, and be honest with yourself, what's the moat that I'm putting around my company and my product and my customers? Like, what is the barrier to entry? Is the barrier to entry gigantic? And are you honest with yourself of what that barrier to entry is?
Mhm.
And do you have a defensible position? How do you defend against the next guy coming in that's going to copycat you?
Yeah.
Because they will. And, having other people on the market is good for you though. So I would look at it as a positive. When the next guy comes in the market, that makes your job a little easier because now there's two people out there validating this market exists, out
Mhm.
there educating the customers, telling them why they need your product.
Yeah.
So now you should start to focus on, how is my product better?
Mhm.
How can I defend the customers I've already got? And how do I defend against this person when I win my next customer?
Absolutely. And I think of it as like a race, right? Like if you're first out the gate, it's great. You're going to be ahead of the game, but eventually somebody's going to catch you.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of work in that strategy that keeps you in the race.
Yeah. And if someone passes you, how do you get back in front?
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, that's the hardest one, I think, is being first to market and then building a moat and then protecting it. And if you look at like OpenAI, whether they were first to market from a technological perspective, but they were first to market
I mean, from the
in terms
public's
of
perspective,
the
yes.
public of, hey, when you thought of AI 2 years ago, it was ChatGPT, it was OpenAI, that was it. And they were better than everybody else by a lot. And then you had some of these startups come in and, they were okay, but not great. And then it was easy for ChatGPT to dominate.
Mhm.
And I think it still has the lion's share of the market. But if you look at, you know, Google Gemini, Anthropic, all these other guys have popped up and they are better.
They're doing it better.
Right. And, their models, they realized how to improve it and how to make it, you know, give it more data, how to train it faster, and it's gotten better. And they've all caught up, if not passed.
Yes.
So what's the moat that, OpenAI had around its customer base? It was mainly, consumer driven, right? But you're paying $20 a month. And now Google comes out and says, oh, we'll just give it to you for free.
Yeah.
How about that?
Mhm.
And ours is better and it's free.
And it's free.
So
Yeah. First to market's not a guarantee,
no, it's not a guarantee to be the winner.
but you get a legacy, right?
Maybe.
People will coin ChatGPT with creating the AI race, starting it out the door.
Thank you for tuning in to Married to the Startup. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please take a moment to like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast. Your support helps us reach more people and keeps the conversation going. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, drop me a message. I love hearing from you guys. Until next time.